Salutations! This is part 2 of our Reach Weapons tier list trilogy. While part 1 focused on the campaign, Firefight is our next stop. If you haven't watched the campaign video yet, I highly recommend doing so, as you'll miss out on weapon and enemy character stats that I will not repeat here. This intro will also take a while as I explain my tiering criteria and some corrections I need to make from the last video. If you want to skip to the rankings, the timestamp on screen will take you there. So, why am I making a separate Firefight list when the same Covenant enemies are present? Firefight levels are not linear missions with set encounters and weapon spawns. You're fighting an endless horde of Covenant squads in one place, and weapon availability is drastically different here. Because of this, weapons that might have been good in the campaign are not guaranteed to be as good in Firefight, and perhaps vice versa. Reach's Firefight is considered too easy compared to ODST's, likely due to Arcade Fight and the other wacky modes. For this list, we'll center around the Firefight Classic game type, the closest analog to ODST's Firefight loop. Lives and ammo are limited. The Tough Luck, Catch, and Black Eye skulls turn on depending on the round, enemies spawn from dropships, and map hazards such as enemy vehicles and drop pods are enabled. As I always do with these lists, the legendary difficulty will be factored in. And let me tell you, if you think Reach Firefight is easy, you're wrong. Unless you're playing on normal with unlimited fuel rod ammo, then of course it's easy. Here, on Legendary, you'll die to the stinkiest cheese imaginable. I mean, that type of feta and Gruyere that's just rancid. But don't worry, we have our own smelly Swiss to fight cheese with cheese. While I limit the campaign to solo play, Firefight is a cooperative mode by design, so single player and co-op runs are factored in. While the normal objective is to survive for as long as possible, for this video, we'll just play for one set, since unlike ODST, Reach's Firefight Classic does not add extra skulls for upcoming sets, so it'll always be Tough Luck, Catch, and Black Eye. Reach's Firefight Classic includes a whole host of Covenant squads, and the ones you encounter are randomized except for the first wave, which always starts with both pure Grunt and pure Jackal squads. Like in ODST, there are some other squads not normally present that you can enable in the custom Firefight settings. The most notable example are the human weapon wielding Heretic elites. I will not be counting the extra squad types. Unlike the bonus enemies in ODST, which don't appear in standard gameplay, Reaches are just more of what we already have, like 4 elites, 4 brutes, etc. And come here. No, come here. Look at me directly in the eyes and tell me these Heretic elites are okay. No. Map hazards occasionally spawn. These range from drop pods with various enemies, cliffside Jackal snipers on waterfront and unearthed, engineers on Corvette, and map-dependent vehicles like ghosts, banshees, and wraiths. There's no allied NPCs in Firefight except for Installation 04, which features 4 ODSTs that defend the beam tower, followed by an extra from the Pelican's Warthog drop. While I featured allied NPCs heavily in the campaign list, they'll only be sparsely mentioned here. They're only found on one map, and they don't last long, even when holding the best weapons. You're given 5 loadout options. 4 of these include a Magnum secondary, except for the Sprint loadout, which has the DMR and Assault Rifle. 2 of these have an Assault Rifle primary, but one has a Jetpack armor ability, and the other has Drop Shield. Don't use Jetpack. The active Camo class has the Grenade Launcher, and lastly, the Armor Lock loadout has the shotgun. I wanted to bring all that up because the aforementioned weapons benefit from being loadout specific. Not only are they available on spawn, but each map has ammo boxes that replenish the reserve ammo. The weapon and ability combinations will also be taken into account. At the start of each round, power weapons drop in via supply pods. These range from the Target Locator, the Sniper Rifle, the Rocket Launcher, and the Spartan Laser. You're guaranteed a target locator on maps that have it. Otherwise, the weapon drops are random, except on Glacier, where everything except the target locator spawns every round. Before we move on to the tier list, I want to correct some things that I got wrong in the campaign video, and even update some placements on the campaign list. I mentioned the assault rifle and plasma repeater's damage per shot was entirely based on distance. In reality, these damage values are actually random, which is even worse than distance-based damage. I said the rockets, fuel rod, and Spartan Laser damage was lower in Halo 3 than they really were. I missed these spike AoE damage bump values that add on to the base damage value. I don't know why Bungie opted to do it this way, but yeah, turns out any buffs from 3 to Reach were pretty minimal, but I still believe Reach's rocket launcher is superior to 3's. Jackal's shields do not have 700 shield points. When looking at the model tags for both the minor and major shields, I forgot to look at the damage section dedicated to the shield strength, and the vitality values were set to 0.1 and 0.2 respectively. Those times 700 result in 70 shield points for Jackal minors and 140 for majors. I also forgot about another energy sword you could get before the ice cave on the package, as well as a shotgun before the Falcon ride on Winter Contingency. As for my tiering updates for the campaign list, I feel I was a bit mean to the plasma rifle. While the plasma pistol is better in every way except in the hands of allies, it's still a serviceable weapon in its own right, and like the plasma pistol, it holds 500 shots. When a plasma pistol is not immediately available, the plasma rifle will help you as long as you know about its weaknesses. On the other side of the coin, I was too nice to the Needler. Yes, I'm the CEO of the Needler gang spouting this blasphemy, but I try to be somewhat objective with these lists. While I think the Needler is still pretty good, the ammo expenditure is its Achilles heel, and I fail to emphasize that enough. Each Needler does not drop enough ammo, and you'll chew through your limited reserves pretty quickly. With all that said, I'm bumping the plasma rifle up to C tier, and dropping the Needler to B tier. Let's finally talk about the list itself. Since I started the campaign list with the target locator, we should begin the Firefight list with it too. It appears on every map except Corvette and Glacier, and as I said earlier, it's a guaranteed drop at the start of the match. You typically get 2 designations per round, except on Unearthed, which has 3. The target locator is devastatingly powerful, capable of destroying a huge chunk of the wave with a well-aimed and timed call. However, given the limited calls per round, choosing when to use it is crucial. I would not recommend using it on the initial Grunt and Jackal waves, since the DMR, Magnum, and grenades make short work of them already. Elite, Hunter, and Boss waves are prime targets, as well as Wraiths on maps that have them. While all of this sounds S tier worthy, the issues holding it back include the limited shot supply per round, and being useless indoors or any place with overhead cover. It's also not great versus infantry that are already deployed, since they can walk away from the designated area. It's best to use it near the drop pod zones of Phantoms and Spirits. Speaking of Spirits, the target locator is not as good on Installation 04, since at most, 6 enemies drop per side. Holdout is a great map though, due to how close certain Phantoms hover next to each other when dropping troops. Thanks to that extra shot, Unearthed is pretty notable too, and is good for the Wraiths. The target locator is A tier. While resources per round are limited, a well-timed shot on a dangerous wave can be crucial for you and your team. Alright, let's address the great tusk in the room because the rest of this list will revolve around it. The DMR. You already know it's the best weapon in the game. It effortlessly shreds through unshielded enemies, as long as you pace your shots. Its 3x scope grants you red reticle from a great distance. Even against elite officers, the DMR is solid. Because of the unlimited ammo crate, the concept of wasting shots on elite shields is non-existent. It's even good for ghosts and banshees when you don't have a power weapon on hand, taking a few magazines to kill each. Hunters are dicey, and a pair attacking you at the same time is the one bad matchup the DMR has. However, if you can isolate one, repeated DMR shots and melee attacks will eventually bring it down. Choosing the DMR class also grants you the sprint armor ability, which I'd say is the best option out of the 5. You or your team could be defending a position, but then find yourselves overrun, and sprint will get you out of there the easiest. Active camo only works for so long, and if enemies are close enough, they'll see you anyway. It does not help that certain squads are scripted to follow the player's position, even if they're invisible. Armor lock and drop shield just delay the inevitable, and jetpack sucks. On Installation 04, 2 ODSTs spawn with DMRs, so you do not have to spend a life to combo the DMR with a shotgun or grenade launcher. There really isn't much else to say. The DMR is the reigning monarch of Firefight. If you want to survive a whole set, you should rely on this rifle. Survival also means sleeping well, so you should rely on today's sponsor, Manta Sleep. Do you struggle to get a good night's sleep, or even have issues napping? Manta Sleep provides best-in-class sleep masks, which include light-blocking eye cups that are soft and non-constricting. They also include adjustable velcros, making them one size fits all. As a dedicated side sleeper, I've tried other sleep masks, but they don't conform to my position preference. Thankfully, the soft, high-quality materials makes Manta Sleep the perfect fit for me. Manta Sleep offers a wide variety of mask variants. The steam mask applies a warm compression around your eyelids, providing a spa-like treatment. On the flip side, the cool mask is like having the cold side of a pillow for as long as you want. Then there's the sound mask, which has a built-in Bluetooth speaker so you can listen to the soundscapes that put you to sleep. Put on one of my full analysis videos and you'll be out like a light. Manta Sleep sent my human form the weighted mask, a variant that applies a comforting pressure around the eyelids. If you like weighted blankets, this mask is just for you. Manta Sleep also makes peripherals that help with sleep aid. They sent me this white noise machine that blocks out nearby unwanted sounds. My dog Basil hates the sound of thunder during a rainstorm. This white noise machine has been the perfect help to ignore the raging bolts and their thunderclaps. Make sure to click on the product links below to discover all the sleep masks and accessories Manta Sleep has to offer. And don't forget to use the code NEEDLERGANG at checkout. You'll get a 10% discount while supporting my channel, so it's a win-win. Big shout out to Manta Sleep for sponsoring this video. The Magnum is up next. It's akin to the DMR, a loadout headshot weapon with access to unlimited ammo. However, the bloom is more aggressive and cannot be tightened with crouching, the magazine size is nearly halved, and the scope only has a 2x zoom, making red reticle harder to achieve from range. It doesn't help that none of the Magnum loadouts have sprint, requiring the user to leave a position sooner if they're about to be overwhelmed. It's not all bad for the Magnum though. The faster fire rate is beneficial in close quarters, especially against brutes, who drop quickly to Magnum shots. If your end goal is to have a shotgun or grenade launcher paired with a DMR, the Magnum will be your carry until you respawn with a DMR. At the end of the day, the Magnum will always be a solid choice, but you wish it was a DMR the majority of the time, and none of the Magnum loadouts have sprint. So given the opportunity cost, I'm giving the Magnum A tier. It's still really good, just mostly outclassed by the best weapon in the game. Continuing our loadout weapon streak, we have the Assault Rifle. You'd think that because it's a loadout weapon with access to unlimited ammo, it'd be pretty decent. But sadly, Legendary Firefight is simply too much for it. Despite the AR's ability to suppress grunts, it takes too long to kill them and other unshielded enemies. So much can happen to you during that AR burst, where you can just DMR headshot everything. Even the AR's sprint loadout comes with a DMR primary, so why not just use the unlimited ammo DMR? The AR is even outclassed by the first plasma pistol you find. If there's anything positive I can say about the AR, it's that when your position is overrun, and you're away from the unlimited ammo crates, you'll have to start conserving DMR or Magnum ammo. Upon respawning at a place without any plasma weapon drops, the AR can strip elite shields from safe distances, so your precision weapon can clean up with little ammo used. But shortly after, you'll find plasma weapons again, and you'd rather have those than the AR. The Assault Rifle is D tier. I could never put it in Y tier because of its access to unlimited ammo. Still, the AR is mogged by almost every other weapon, especially the common plasma pistols. The shotgun is up next. Unlimited shells, high close quarters killing power, and a lot of reserve ammo for its power level makes this a solid choice. It's one of the quickest hunter killers, with 4 back shots killing one, and the brute matchup is good too, quickly stunning them with a shoot and melee combo. Speaking of that combo, the shotgun is surprisingly good during the Black Eye round due to its shoot and melee centric gameplay. If you hang around corners and doorways, not much can deal with the shotgun, and there's a dirty trick to make controlling enemy pathfinding easier. Take a vehicle, such as the Mongoose or Ghost, and place them in specific doorways or corners. Enemies will refuse to pathfind through them. This is especially effective on Installation 04 and Unearthed, and while every weapon benefits from this, the shotgun is the most grateful. Enemies funnel through one less pathway, preventing the user from being flanked as often. Installation 04 is the shotgun's best map by far. Not only is the beam tower easy for the shotgun to defend, one of the ODSTs has a secondary shotgun, so once they drop it, you get the DMR and shotgun combo without spending a life. That being said, the shotgun's not great on some maps. Glacier's tough for it as the defensive positions are too open. Waterfront has tight spaces, but they're hard to defend given the multiple entrances by them. While the Magnum is a solid partner for the shotgun, the DMR and sprint combo is just better, and outside Installation 04, you'll have to die before getting that combo. Armor lock is fine, I guess, but sprint closes the distance to your targets, or can help you escape from unfavorable situations. Against a single elite in ideal conditions, you'll do fine, but multiple elites surrounding you, that's a bad time. The shotgun's A tier. It needs some setup to reach ideal conditions, and on most maps, that means spending a life, and the elite matchup is not the greatest. But at its peak, the shotgun is really good, especially on Installation 04, where I even managed to go deathless with it. Our final loadout option is my favorite reach weapon, the grenade launcher. With unlimited ammo, this thing is busted. Everyone knows about its EMP shot, stripping shields while also disabling vehicles. However, the real kicker is its primary shot, which decimates unshielded enemy squads with ease. This weapon provides best-in-class safety for you, shooting around corners and the tops of ramps before enemies can even see you, and if you hang around the ammo crate, you can just do this endlessly. Holdout, Outpost, Corvette, and Installation 04 are particularly great maps for this strategy, and once again, on Installation 04, you get a free DMR with the grenade launcher class, with the only downside being the lack of sprint for the first life. The grenade launcher can solo every non-elite wave in the game. Even the hunter matchup is deceptively good. While it takes a while to kill one, constantly shooting from cover is a safe strategy, and they'll go down eventually. 15 reserve grenades is a lot given the kill potential here. It's also great for Banshee and Wraith hazards, stopping them from firing at you and leaving them vulnerable. The grenade launcher is good versus elites, but large groups of them can be overwhelming at times, and it'll need the DMR's help to finish them off. Like I mentioned in the campaign video, the grenade launcher is a skillful weapon that requires good aim and shot leading discipline to make work, and missed shots can be devastating. However, the layout of these maps and the unlimited ammo crate eliminate a lot of that skill. The grenade launcher is an easy S tier. Unlimited grenades make this borderline overpowered, which is a good thing considering how hard Legendary Firefight is. Let's move on to the power weapon drops, starting with the sniper rifle. You only get 12 shots per round, except for the very rare instance where a second sniper rifle drops after you secure the target locator. It's a specialist weapon in Firefight. It can dent elite shields from far away, one-shot brew captains with headshots, and heavily dent ghosts and banshees. While these are good matchups, your limited ammo supply means you have to be selective with your targets and have good aim. Unless you're amazing at no-scoping, close quarters is a tough time. Despite one-shotting them, grunts, jackals, and skirmishers are not worth targeting given your limited resources, except when they walk in single-file lines, scoring you collaterals. It can damage wraiths, but will cost a lot of shots to weaken them. I'd say the sniper rifle is best used during the boss wave, notably 2-shotting brute chieftains, 1-shotting jetpack elites, and 2 shots versus an elite general is enough for the DMR to finish it off. I'm giving B tier for the sniper rifle. It would be a lot higher if it consistently had more ammo, but if you choose the right targets, it'll help you survive the round. Take everything I just said about the sniper rifle, imagine it with even less resources, and you have the rocket launcher. Sadly, it does not share its campaign success in Firefight. Only 4 rockets for the entire round is rough, although I managed to have one game with 2 launchers spawned, but that's an extremely rare occurrence. It could be a substitute for the target locator on the initial grunt and jackal waves, decimating them as they deploy from dropships. It could also be saved for the boss waves against generals and chieftains, or larger targets like hunters and wraiths. However, hunters need their back armor destroyed to get a consistent 2-shot kill versus 1, and wraiths are dangerous to attack head-on. Its target tracking ability hardly comes into play. You could lock on to dropship turrets, but why? Just wait for them to leave. There's banshees too, but thanks to the tough luck skull, they'll dodge incoming rockets. On Installation 04, you could give a rocket to the ODST that's scripted to follow you, and have them ride shotgun on a warthog. However, 3 out of the 5 grunt ranks, and all shielded jackals, use the plasma pistol's overcharge shot. Fuel rod grunts, concussion rifles, and plasma launchers are a common presence, and the catch skull increases the grenade throw chance. I would not recommend this strat unless you're playing co-op and you have a buddy on the gunner seat. The rocket launcher is C tier. It's a powerful weapon that's greatly hindered by its low ammo count. It's okay, but I don't think it's worth it most of the time. The last power weapon drop is a Spartan Laser. You'd think the viability would be similar to the rocket launchers, as it too only has 4 shots. However, I think the Splazer is much more consistent. It's more accurate versus high value targets like Banshees, Wraiths, and Hunters. While the DMR is enough to kill Banshees, it helps to have an insta-kill option for them, especially if you're surrounded by enemies. A single Hunter is a 2-shot kill, but the Splazer can overpenetrate and hit 2 Hunters at once, making the Splazer the best anti-Hunter weapon in Firefight. While the Wraith is also a 2-shot, there's a more cheesy way the Splazer can beat it. If you shoot the mortar turrets off, it can't do anything but try to splatter you, and because the Wraith pilot is still alive, another Wraith cannot respawn in its place, and you won't have to worry about it for the rest of the set. You could destroy the mortars with other explosive weapons, but the Splazer is the most straightforward option. I would not use the Splazer on common infantry. Even elite officers are tanky enough to survive a direct hit. While the Spartan Laser is a hyper-specialized tool, it's important enough for B tier. Even on maps without Wraiths, having the best anti-Hunter weapon at your disposal is nice. I'll cover both turrets next, as I feel they're just as viable as each other. The machine gun turret appears on every map except Beachhead, Corvette, and Waterfront. Holdout notably has 3 of these turrets. Meanwhile, the mounted plasma turret is only on Corvette, and the handheld version is used by elite generals and brute chieftains. I would not recommend using the tripod-mounted guns in solo play. Dropships, grenades, and heavy weapons will annihilate you if you don't have your enemies distracted. The nerfed mobility, even on mouse and keyboard, is annoying to deal with, given how quickly players can get overwhelmed. It's especially bad with the catch and black eye skulls. More grenade spam sucks to deal with, and you cannot melee with turrets to get shields back. The biggest issue is that the unlimited ammo crates invalidate the turret's ability to save normal weapon ammo. With all that said, on their own terms, the turrets are alright. Unlike most of the campaign, Firefight is all about defensive play, and utilizing the third-person camera to see around cover gives both turrets a niche. The machine gun turret in particular is good for Banshee hazards, killing them way faster than the DMR. Plasma turrets are usually capped at 200 shots, but the turrets dropped by enemies can exceed that limit. I'll place both turrets in C tier. While the mounts are death traps, and ammo conservation is not a big priority, they're both decent options on their own. Mouse and keyboard players have the advantage though. Next up is the plasma pistol. Many of the non-loadout weapons are hampered by low availability, but not the plasma pistol. Every wave in Firefight Classic has grunts or jackals, guaranteeing you plasma pistols all the time. Not only is it great versus energy shields, it also has high kill power with its standard bolts, requiring a handful of shots to kill grunts, jackals, and skirmishers. The overcharge shot is more important than ever, serving as a get-off-me tool versus elites, and is great for disabling vehicles. During the Black Eye wave, if you have full health but lack shields, you can shoot a charge shot at yourself, and the AoE will damage your health. You can then pick up a health pack before a tough fight. I really don't have much else to say. The plasma pistol is an S tier option that'll make surviving Firefight easier. Sadly, the same cannot be said for the Needler. It too appears in each wave since grunts and jackals use it, but it's less common than the plasma pistol, and each dropped Needler barely has any ammo. This is a big reason why I wanted to update the Needler's campaign tier list placement, because the negatives I brought up are exacerbated in Firefight. You have to scavenge for Needler ammo, and tough luck makes enemies more likely to dodge or use armor lock, and you'll chew through ammo because of it. I mentioned how dodging could be a good thing in the campaign video, forcing enemies to stop firing at you, and while that's still true, the ammo supply is just not there to make the most of that strat. If there's any target to go after, it's the brutes, who are insta-killed by super combines. The catch skull particularly cancels out the tough luck weakness. Enemies throwing grenades are stuck in their grenade throw animations, leaving them vulnerable. Despite that, I'd say you're better off just getting plasma pistols, unless it's a brute wave. As a Needler gang CEO, it pains me to say this, but the Needler is D tier in Firefight. If only it had more ammo, but alas. The plasma launcher is pretty common in Firefight. used by heavy and spec ops grunts, elite officers and generals, and finally brute chieftains. While tough luck makes landing shots from a distance pretty hard, enemies don't react quick enough in close quarters. One shot is enough to kill most unshielded enemies, and damages elite shields enough for the DMR to finish with 2 shots. Ghosts and wraiths are prime targets, as they're unable to dodge the projectiles like infantry can. While plasma launchers are common, they often have low battery charges, so fire in single shots to preserve ammo. I'll give the plasma launcher B tier. It's common for its power level, and can be devastating up close, but can be tricky to use at range, and each launcher does not offer many shots. The fuel rod gun, on the other hand, is the second best enemy drop in the game. It's used by the same enemies as the plasma launcher, except for elite officers. However, drop pod hazards always include a squad of 4 grunt heavies with fuel rods. It may as well be a fuel rod ammo drop, since the grunts are DMR food. While the DMR kills all the headshot weak enemies, the fuel rod handles high value targets like elites, brutes, and hunters. Like the plasma launcher, one shot is enough to severely weaken elite shields. While it's strong versus vehicles, I would not recommend it since fuel rods are slow in the air. The fuel rod is A tier. Ammo is extremely plentiful when grunts are around. The only reason it's not S is because ammo droughts can happen when you get more jackal waves than grunts. The needle rifle is better than the needler in almost every way in Reach Firefight. Each jackal squad comes with a jackal sniper, and the needle rifle is the more likely spawn weapon compared to the focus rifle. It's also occasionally used by jetpack elites and skirmishers. While the needle rifle is less common than the needler, if you pace your shots, ammo conservation is a lot easier with this weapon, especially considering Super Combined's trigger with 3 shots compared to the needler's 6. While the DMR mows through grunts and jackals, the needle rifle deals with brutes with relative ease. As long as you expect the first shot to cause a dodge or armor lock, you won't struggle with ammo. However, if you're unlucky and keep getting grunt waves, needle rifle ammo can become scarce. I would not bother wasting ammo on elites unless you break their shields first. You get more value out of headshot kills and super combines instead. It's also useless versus vehicles, unlike the DMR, which can at least deal chip damage. The needle rifle is B tier. When ammo is plentiful, it could be nearly as deadly as the DMR. However, there will be droughts when jackals don't show up, and beyond the brute matchup, the DMR is just better and has infinite ammo. Next, we have the focus rifle. It's primarily seen with jackal snipers, and occasionally skirmishers and jetpack elites, but it's rare compared to the needle rifle. Fortunately, the rarity is offset by having a strong battery. It's good at suppressing grunts and stripping elite shields from a distance. Against brutes, just a few seconds of fire on their helmets will destroy them. While the focus rifle is a great ranged option, despite the pinpoint accuracy, it'll struggle against elites up close. It does not deal bonus shield damage unlike other plasma weapons, and that extra time will cost you if they have concussion rifles. The focus rifle is decent enough to warrant a low B tier. It can be rare at times, but thankfully it drops with plenty of ammo, and it's a safe long-ranged weapon that's really easy to use. I don't really have much to say about the plasma rifle. In practice, it's a worse plasma pistol in every way. It's not as common, only used by elite officers, it's nowhere near as accurate, and it lacks the charge shot. However, on its own, the plasma rifle is not the worst thing in the world. In the emergency situation where a plasma pistol is not near you, but a plasma rifle is, it deals good shield damage and it's alright against flesh. The plasma rifle is C tier. It's entirely outclassed by the plasma pistol, but to its credit, it could put in work as a shield stripper in the event you don't have a plasma pistol just yet. Do I even need to say anything about the plasma repeater? You know it's going into Y tier. Take the assault rifle and make it worse in every way, and you have the plasma repeater. It's used by elite officers and brute captains, but who cares? If anything, the repeater is even worse off in Firefight than in campaign, since you can choose to spawn with the DMR, the best gun in this mode, and it comes with the assault rifle, the better version of the repeater. Each shot also expends more battery than both the plasma rifle and plasma pistol, both of which are leagues better than this. Y tier. Next. In practice, the concussion rifle is a light fuel rod. It's a common explosive weapon, used by brute captains and elite officers, jetpacks, and generals. Maps with drop pods also include a squad of brutes holding concussion rifles, making them a good ammo source. However, you'll burn through ammo since it requires multiple shots to kill most things. At the very least, it's good at stopping elites and brutes in their tracks. Enemies concussed by explosives cannot act while airborne. The Concussion Rifle is a low C tier. It barely escaped D tier thanks to decent ammo supply and good matchup versus elites and brutes. Otherwise, it's a worse fuel rod in most ways. The Spiker is similar to the Plasma Rifle. It's an emergency shield stripper in the event you don't have a plasma pistol. However, it's exclusively used by brute captains, and in every conceivable way, the plasma pistol and even the plasma rifle do its job better. That being said, at least it has something to offer unlike the plasma repeater. The Spiker was Y tier in campaign since most engagements had it facing brutes, which don't have shields unless they're chieftains. At least in Firefight, elites are a common presence. D tier for the Spiker, barely escaping Y tier for its anti-shield spikes. If only its melee damage was boosted! Our penultimate weapon is the Gravity Hammer. It's used by brute chieftains and occasionally brute captains. It's extremely powerful, two-shotting elite generals and brute chieftains, and decimating everything else. It's great around corners where the enemies don't expect you, and pairs well with Sprint. The hammer really comes into its own when Black Eye is enabled. Hammer swings that successfully deal damage restore your shields, and thanks to the hammer's AoE, it's a ranged shield regenerator. Of course, the biggest weakness is being exclusively a close quarters weapon, but another issue is the aforementioned AoE. Groups of enemies often die near each other, and that means plasma grenades litter the battlefield. If the hammer swings over a dropped grenade, it'll cause chain reaction explosions, and I've died to this multiple times. If you see plasma grenades and you have a hammer, throw those nades away. The Gravity Hammer is B tier. It's an exceptionally strong close quarters battle weapon with a surprisingly decent availability, but it's held back by range and the danger of chain reactions. Our final weapon is the other melee exclusive, the Energy Sword. It's only used by elite generals, making this the rarest weapon in Firefight. However, the sword is really good during a general wave. It one-hits the jetpack elites accompanying the generals, and a single swing breaks the general's shields without expending battery, letting the DMR finish him off. Like the hammer, it's also great for the Black Eye wave, with each successful hit restoring shields. However, you only get so many hits with a sword, since each kill drains 10% of the battery. It's also limited in range, but sprint and lunge alleviate this weakness. Our last ranking is B tier for the sword. That sounds odd given how rare and battery inefficient the sword is, but given its great matchup versus the hardest wave in the game, the Elite General wave, it's worthy of a decent ranking. And that'll be it for the Firefight installment of the Reach Weapons tier list trilogy. Our final chapter for Reach is multiplayer. If, and only if, you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe for more Halo content from this channel, leave a comment with your opinions on the rankings, and hit the bell to never miss an upload. I'd like to thank my patrons, as well as my Needler Gang YouTube members, for further supporting the channel. Your continued patronage means a lot to me, and I appreciate each and every one of you for your generosity. This is the Vengeful Vatum. Always remember that you matter more than you think you do, and I'll see you on the great journey.